Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode on our channel where we're talking about living happily together. Now, many times people think we talk about happily together, we're just thinking about people who are married, but we have realized that the scope of living happily together goes far beyond marriage. It's everything. It's people who have been married, who are post-married, whatever the circumstances of their lives, even those that are on their way to getting married. Today we have a guest in the studio. I'm very excited about this conversation. Very, very excited about it because I've seen snippets of her story as she has shared about surviving an intense, let's call it an intense marriage for now. Surviving 9.5 years of a very intense marriage. We're going to be talking with, I call her Auntie Judith, yes, and we're going to talk with Judith Pam Talk, who gets to tell us this very intriguing story. Thank you for allowing me to block you. Let's start from there.
That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
So I started following you. I think the first thing I knew about you was I saw a handbag, a really lovely handbag with my sister-in-law, Kempia Dishi, and I asked her where she got it because it was so unique, and she said, "Oh, it's from her friend's foundation." And that was all I knew about you. I knew you had a foundation. I knew you were doing amazing things. And then one day on social media, you slap us. You slap us by starting a story about, getting married. And I'm like, whoa, we never saw this coming. So take us back to the start.
I was about 24, yes, because we courted for a year and a half, thereabouts. We went to church one day, my friend and I, male friend, and I. So we had closed from church, and then we went on mobile on Independence Way in Kaduna. And then someone who had been to church too, just drove out and then saw us standing on the road, and then he gave us a ride. That my friend was like a friend and a brother. He's passed now anyway, so he saw us and gave us a ride. So after that ride, this guy would keep coming to the house. Oh, hi, how are you? And I wasn't very frequent in church. Yes, he dropped us off, my friend and I, yes, because my friend we lived in the same neighborhood.
Okay.
So, and we're very close. So, and my friend had this habit of, when I had a toaster, he would be the one to check the toaster out for me.
What a good friend.
So, exactly. So he was really a friend and a brother. So, and he just said, this guy that's been coming here often like that. And I had just broken off a relationship, which I was very happy with, but my mother did not approve of, because we're from different religions.
Oh.
Yes. So, and when this came, my mom jumped on it,
Yeah.
Anyway, so before we even got to that point, and I just felt that, okay, I could just give this guy a chance. And my friend was urging me on that, okay, he thinks this guy is okay. And that's how we started. On that note, he was young and into business.
Okay.
And while he just started he was in second year reading part-time law in abuse area. So he was actually doing his business and that. And
what was the age gap?
The age gap, he is 7 years older than me.
7, okay. So you were 24, he was about 31.
31, yes.
Okay, 31.
Yes, I think. Yes.
Okay.
So, and so we just started like that. He's quite simple. I mean, he wouldn't talk. He doesn't talk much, and quite reserved.
Okay.
And somehow I thought I liked that, because me, I'm a people's person.
Yeah.
So I thought we needed a kind of balance where both of us are not, the same, thing, kind of. I was doing my business already. I had established my business, which was doing very, very well. And not long, I can't remember exactly, but not long after we started dating, one day he just asked me to come to his house, that his mom was around.
Okay.
And he wanted me to meet his mom. So I was like, why not? I went, saw her, greeted her as I would, an elderly person. And she was really very nice, very sweet. And my visit there was very brief. And then as I made to leave, he was seeing me off. Then I heard her speaking the language. And well, I didn't know what she said, but I heard him laughing. And so when he came, I was like, what is Mama saying now? So I said, that she told him that she's been asking him to marry, and he said that, and he has not found the person. That, what about this girl? That she likes her.
Mama saw the future,
The
right?
very
Yeah.
first day, that was the very first time I met her.
What a green
So
flag.
exactly,
Yeah.
So well, we just laughed, and then I left. And I think that kind of gave him the courage to, because he hadn't even told me he wanted to marry me until, yes, then he mentioned that. And then so somehow he now eventually asked the question, but I liked him. And somehow at that point in my life, I felt at that stage, actually, I felt I needed to be with a man who was also building his life. There's something about me that, I didn't think I wanted a man who was already made.
Yeah.
I wanted someone that would build
Together.
Yes, build together. And he just seemed perfect for me. And so I think I was also focusing on things that I should not have focused. That's important, but I should have dwelt more on maybe the character. But I mean, he was just okay. And then I just saw that as something that I also wanted. So we just started off like that. And then we started to plan the marriage, the visits. He has most of his relations in Abuja. I had met his mother. I hadn't met his dad yet. And then we planned, and I had told him that we will not go to my people if I haven't gone to your place to even know where where you're from.
Yeah.
And then to meet your dad. Fine, I've met your mom. She likes me. I'm happy about that. And so we traveled to his place. And I was happy knowing his people, formally, seeing where he's from. It's so far from us, but I mean, my family is used to inter-tribal, inter-ethnic marriages, and
Right.
so yes, it wasn't going to be a problem for me or my people. And so we went, came back, and of course I brought him to Jos, and my mom was over the moon.
Finally.
Oh,
Your
yes,
mom is
yes,
like,
yes.
finally.
Yes.
I've been
This
talking-
one was
Yes.
of her own religion, yes.
Coconut Head is back home now, so she's thinking, well, so that's how we just started all the preparations.
Right.
I introduced him first, we went, came back, he brought his people, and then we started to prepare for the marriage because we had green lights from both sides of the family.
So that happened all within, you say, 1 year?
1 year.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Span
yes.
of 1 year.
Mm.
From when you met
Yeah.
and to all of the visit and
Yes. All
Right.
the visits started within that 1 year.
now I mean, I'm going to ask her to take
Absolutely.
us to the wedding prepreparation. I mean, because part of your story, you share a lot
Shared about the
about
wedding preparation.
Yes.
the
right?
wedding
Yes.
preparation.
We started to plan our
wedding.
our wedding. We were disagreeing on a lot of things.
Okay.
Yes. We started to disagree on a lot of things, and you would agree with me that that's already the red flags.
What are
you know,
those a
showing.
lot of things?
Okay, the venue of the reception. But before we even get there, first of all, I remember writing on my Facebook page about how his elder sister was ill, and a friend had visited me. So that's how I had a land phone, and I was informed that his sister was ill and she was at the hospital, St. Gerard's Hospital in Kaduna, and we were living in Ungwankanawa. Our house was just right by the gate of NDA there. And so when I heard, I told my friend I needed to go visit her, so she should please come along with me. And it was just a visit to my sister-in-law. And I didn't even see how or understand how that became a problem. So we visited her, greeted her and everything, and left. But he just came to my place charging. He was so upset that, who was that person that you took to go and visit my sister in the hospital? You know, in our family, we're very reserved people. We don't.
And you did it out of.
I mean, I
my
would
friend
go
had
with my
come to
friend.
visit me.
Yes.
I wasn't
I mean,
going to
even
just
with
tell
family
her.
members, not just friends.
I wasn't going to just tell her that, oh, I'm going off to see my sister-in-law. Bye-bye. No. So I thought we needed to still have time together with my friends. So why not? Let's just go together and then. So it's something that I personally would have appreciated that, oh, she even came along with her friend.
Absolutely. I would
so
have to.
I was gobsmacked that, what's going on here? So I think that was the first red flag for me. And we had just started planning for the wedding, for the marriage. We hadn't gone far. So that was the very beginning. And then after that, when the plans had gone so far, we're close to the wedding. I remembered I went to his place. We were going about, planning the wedding, and so we needed to visit people places, and do stuff. So I went to his place. And then as we're leaving, I remembered that my tailors, because I was working from my house anyway, I'm a fashion designer, tailors work right inside my house. So that was my house and my
your
store.
office,
Exactly. So then I remembered that there was something I was supposed to give to the tailors, and I didn't want to disappoint my customers. And so I told him to stop by. My place to his place was not very far. But there's a way you go, people who know Kaduna, when you come out of SMC Junction, you go and turn on Kashim Ibrahim House to come back to NDA. So where I was living. So while we're heading towards Kashim Ibrahim House to turn, so I was like, please, I'll need you to stop by so that I'll give them this work to do, so it will be ready by the time I get back. And he said, no, we're running out of time. And I said, it's not going to take time. Please, let's just go. I promise you I won't take a lot of time. And he just went on talking. And at that point, I just shut down. I felt, look, the world will not stop now if he doesn't even go. So we might as well just go. I was just quiet. And I think for whatever reason, he now decided at the last minute to take that right turn into NDA Junction, so we would go to my house. So he did not trafficate. He did not do anything. And then he went in, then a car just jammed us. And I became a witch.
It became your fault. Okay.
And that was my fault. He knows I was planning this thing like this. Yeah, so that's why I'm a witch. Do you understand?
Wait, is that exact what he was saying?
Oh, yes. That he knows that I'm a witch. That I planned all these things so that this car would just come and hit his car.
Oh, wow.
And that was a red billboard because there's a flag, like
the flag was really small.
But the billboard, you see it like that. My immediate elder sister was serving in Kaduna then, so she was staying at my place. So, well, eventually we still ended up, in the house like that. After all of that, we went about what we needed to do that day. And I go back home and I said to my sister, look, this is what has happened. At this point, it was a month to the wedding.
Oh, wow.
1 month.
Yes, 1 month. So the cards were out already.
Close, yes.
So I told my sister, I said, see what happened. My sister said, are you still telling me this? I said, yes. So she said, if I were you, I'll not marry this man.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, the man should not say
You
that to
know,
his wife.
yes.
yeah.
She said, if I were you, I will not marry this man. No. I said, bah. She said, yes. So think about it. I will not advise you to marry him. And so I just decided that, okay, I'm not going to marry this guy.
Yeah.
I called my uncle, called my mom. Yes, so there were no mobile phones then, but there was a phone in my mom's office. My uncle had a phone in his house. So I called them and I told them. And my uncle said, that, sometimes they didn't really look at it as they should. In hindsight, that's what I'm thinking. If a child tells me anyone said this to them, I'll be the first person to say no. I don't even want to find out anything. I will just tell you, this is a no. Don't do this. But for my mom, I think it was also for the mere fact that she didn't want a situation where I will run back to that relationship. For how
Your ex.
exactly anything for this Christian guy.
There was a time when I didn't know how my family would survive. Raising capital for farming and business was a struggle. Feeding my family was even harder. Then I found Light Microfinance Bank. With their support, everything changed. They empowered me to rebuild my livelihood and secure a better future for my family. Light Microfinance Bank, lightening up lives economically and socially.
So my uncle said, that, marriage is not all rosy, you'll be having problems. But excuse me, not this kind of problems. Do you understand? So, and then my mom said, that no, that you have to be patient.
Absolutely.
And then I felt that these people are married. My elder sister has not been married now.
Yeah.
Do you get?
So you heard the married people.
Yes, they're my parents. Even at that point, my dad had passed.
Yeah.
My uncle is married. He's passed now too. Anyway, so I just felt that, okay, that maybe I'm being too... I'm overreacting. Yes. And that's how I decided to just go on with it. But my sister decided to sit on look.
Yeah.
Yes. And so, and even before this, I think once we started planning the marriage from the beginning, I remembered I wanted to buy a car. I had done a job. I had some good money as at that time, So what I would call good money now. So I needed to buy a car. I didn't have a car. I was chartering taxis all the time. So most of my money was going into that. And so, yes. So I thought I needed to get a car. A Starlet those days, yes. Toyota Starlet, yes.
Yeah.
So I wanted to buy,
Cute cars.
I wanted to buy one. At least that's what my money could afford at that time. And so I felt I needed to tell my guy now. So I want to buy a car, this job I did. And the first question he would ask me was, in whose name is the car going to be bought?
Oh, really? This is before you
Before
get
the marriage.
married?
Absolutely, yes. Even before the witch.
Before the witch one now. Yes.
And he asked, in whose name? This is my money.
I mean, it's not like he contributed to the car.
No, I didn't say, Oga, please buy a car for me.
I
had worked, I had money, I wanted to buy a car. And then this guy goes, in whose name? It was shocking to me, like,
Yeah.
So I still remember, I didn't say anything, but...
You noted it?
Yes. The only thing I said to him was, how? How? I mean, and then he just went on, in our culture, women cannot own this, cannot own that. If you want me as your husband to protect you, to do this, you cannot own properties in your name.
Oh, really?
So you see, that was a red flag, which I ignored. And these two, I ran back to my sister. I said, that's... I of course, we had gisted about me trying to buy the car. And I just didn't want a situation where I was just going to land with a car and then he didn't know anything about it. Because, we had already started our marriage plans. If he did the same, I wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
So I told my sister, and my sister said, what do you mean? Your money. So what's he expecting? I said, this is what he said. She said, it's either I will not marry you or I will not buy that car.
Yeah.
But I will not use my money to buy a property in someone else's
His
name.
name, yeah.
He was not even asking me to buy in both names.
He was asking to
In
buy
his
his
There was
name.
no way, yes.
I mean, maybe that would have been better if he's asking
Yeah.
that you.
I
mean, I'm
mean,
not saying it's a
yes.
reasonable
I-
reason.
yeah,
Yes,
if-
yeah.
exactly. That's what I'm
It's
even.
not even
Yeah,
a
yeah.
reasonable reason, but
So, and I just decided that, well, I'm not going to buy it, so I will not buy the car.
so you didn't buy the
So you
car.
didn't buy-
Oh yes, I didn't buy the car, but something happened.
Okay.
So after a while, he now came and was like, he didn't even ask, okay, so how far with the car? Are you still going ahead? And no, he never asked. He just came back, some days or a few weeks later. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah.
And then he said, oh, he had seen a Mercedes he wanted to buy, but he did not have, he does not have enough money. Can I borrow him?
The money for your own car.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Can I borrow him?
By the way, that car you wanted to buy, because I wanted to just get clarity, is to help you in your business. I
Yeah,
mean, you're
yes.
not just
Yes, I
buying
needed
it for
mobility,
your...
yes,
Yes,
yes.
mobility,
because you're
yes.
doing your work, you're spending, like you said.
And he has a car.
He has
He
a
already
car.
had a car, yes.
That's been, yes.
He already had a car, a Celica, Toyota Celica he was using.
Okay.
Yes, so he now said he wanted if I could borrow
Him
him
that money.
The money.
the money. And honestly, it was not a problem for me. I mean, this is a man I'm going to get married to,
marry,
so
yeah,
what's the big deal? And he said borrow. He did not say to
Yes.
dash him
Yes.
the money, so it wasn't a problem. So I borrowed him the money. And anyway, what he told me was, what's going to happen is he'll buy the Mercedes, and this car that he's using now, he might as well just give it to me. So you can see that car he's using is already in his name.
Yeah.
So,
So that solves the
yes.
ownership issue.
So now he's now going to buy another one. Of course, he's buying that in his name. So, and well, he's just borrowing the money from me now. So that's how I gave him the money. He added his on it and bought the Mercedes, and I started to use
His own.
yes,
car.
his own. Yes, I
own car.
started to use his own car, and well, all these things happened until we got to the witch part.
Yeah.
Yes, a month to the wedding. My sister advised against going on with the marriage, but I just thought maybe we were overreacting.
Yeah.
Maybe we were just too young. We didn't understand
Each other.
Yeah.
No, I mean my sister and
Yeah,
I.
Yeah, I
yes,
understand.
we did not understand the realities of life. But I think these were very strong boundaries that my sister had, and I didn't see
Where she was
that.
coming
Yes, I didn't see what
And she was more
fighting.
like your mentor. I mean, someone you look up to also, your sister.
Yes, she was my best friend.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm thinking about how wedding preparations, yes, people get stressed, people fight.
Yes.
People just, that's when you start realizing that living together will be a problem, But so you're like, you also have to filter at that age. Did he mean I was really a witch, or was that him being angry because of the preparations? So I can understand where you were with your sister. I can understand how your sister saw it.
Yes.
But at the same time, I can also see where parents come in. And I think that it's good because parents will hear us
Yes.
having these conversations.
Yeah.
Because now, I mean, from what you've told me, if anybody says that kind of thing to my daughter, you're done. So you still, these have happened, and then 1 month, did he apologize?
No.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I was
Yes.
going to ask. In all of this,
He did not apologize. I don't even think, I did not even demand for an apology.
Oh, well, okay.
Well, I mean, you don't have to demand for apology.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
so I also didn't demand for it. So,
yes.
so you can see he was, why I even brought the
Yes.
issue of me not even demanding is sometimes when you bring someone to a place where they have to acknowledge, take
they have
you
done.
hold them
Responsibility.
accountable
Yeah,
for
yeah.
what they've done. So it was as if
Yeah.
he didn't do
yeah.
anything now. So because I didn't even make it an issue.
So he just came back and was himself afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just went on with the
life
plans.
planning.
And then we'll go to order the cake, and then he'll say, no, this cake is too expensive. We go to order food. Food is too expensive. Everything is too. I didn't even understand. And the cake person, we're dealing with my friend's elder sister, who, as far as I was concerned, she had given us huge discounts. And she was going to give us the kind of cake that I wanted. I'm the bride. I mean, so there are things that I don't think men should actually,
I agree.
yes, worry about. And then another funny thing. So in church, we got married in the Anglican church. They would just give you a copy of someone else's wedding program. And it's just for you to go and insert and change stuff like the dates, the names and stuff. So how it is in the program is that there's the bridal procession. And then that became an issue. In a program that the vicar gave us to just go and change. He said, what about the groom's procession? I was like, hey.
Procession.
And he was an Anglican too.
Yes.
Oh, so he had never seen.
I mean,
Yes.
yes. So
there's no something.
he doesn't. I mean, he needed to change things now. Do you understand? It did not matter to him if that was if that was the church standard.
Yes.
He wanted it differently, or for what he would just argue and drag things that he didn't need to drag or argue about. All these were red flags that I didn't know they were an issue.
You were in love now.
I didn't really have strong boundaries a lot, about a lot of things. Yes. So I just felt that I'm just a simple person. All these things don't. But you see now, I tell people that no. You have to know what you want, what is right for you. If you're not getting that, you have to think very well about it. Yes.
I mean, I just wanted to probably just ask for our audience to be clear about this. Do you think you were under, I know I understand the part of you are very simple, so you just overlook it. It's not a big deal for you. But were you under any pressure? I mean, maybe because of your mom, and what was going on through your mind, looking at the red flags, the warning from your sister, and yet you still went ahead and get married to him?
I don't think I wasn't really under any pressure from especially family. Funny enough, I have an aunt who married from where I was going to get married, from. And her experience was terrible.
Okay.
So my aunt kept saying, don't do this. In fact, from the first time I came and I said, oh, I'm marrying somebody from this place, she said, no, you cannot do that.
Okay.
I said, no, Auntie. She said, no, I'm telling you from my experiences, this is what happened to me. This is who they are. This is, So I said, but no, now, Auntie, you cannot just lump the whole group of people
Because
like
of
that.
one
And
experience,
I wasn't under any pressure from family. But
I mean, the things that looked like whispers should have been shouts in retrospect. But I keep telling people that nobody is born. The one of the reasons why I do this, and I'm very glad for the place of media, is that in our time there was no context. You probably had one auntie that told you that, but everybody didn't say it that way. So I feel like information is very important. because you can only walk within the boundaries of what you
Absolutely,
know. You know,
yes.
So if you don't know that these are big issues, if everybody just says, "Oh, every couple fights," oh yeah. Oh,
But what kind of fights do they
what kind
have?
of
And
fights
what
do
are
they
they
have? You
fighting
know,
about?
yeah. You know, so I mean, finally, the wedding happens, and then there's 9.5 years. How do we come by?
That's where the big story now.
Yes,
Okay, so
Quick question.
even on
on the wedding.
on the wedding day,
Okay.
yes.
There's more there.
Oh yes. I like I said on some of my posts
Yes.
on Facebook, like we came with the issues before
Yes.
the wedding, and even the wedding day had its own, and something very significant happened on the day of our wedding. So we went to church, solemnization, wedding, reception, everything happened, and then everything was done. And typical of most Plateau weddings I know, when after the reception, family kind of follow you home to go and like officially
So you
know
your house.
yes your husband's house. Like they would always say, so that if we're passing by, we'll now know that this is where. So a lot of my family and friends had come from Jos because the wedding held in Kaduna. So they came from home in this coaster bus. And so from the reception, they followed us home. I was not prepared for that. So we hadn't made arrangements. But seeing that, well, they were here, they had come, and it's not for anything. They weren't even going to sleep there.
Yeah.
But typically, when someone comes to visit you, you need to at least entertain them. We still had stuff at home, so but we didn't have enough chairs. So I just said to him, please, you need to help us get chairs for these guests. And then he went off to get the chairs, and while some people were sitting, it was a small house, so some people were inside the house, some of them were outside, and then I was just trying to attend to them. Yes, my siblings weren't even around, so I was like the only person even trying to serve and do all of that while waiting for my husband to bring chairs. And this guy didn't come back for so long. I was just doing all of that. And until my guests started asking, in her angle, where's the groom? Where's the groom? And I kept saying he went to get chairs. Innocently, I believed he had gone to get chairs on the wedding day.
Yes.
You know. So until they waited, I gave them what I could give, and then they left. Yes.
That must be long hours.
Groom hadn't come back.
Yes.
It took maybe about 2
hours.
hours. Yes. And they also needed to go and rest because they were going to
go back to Jos.
go back to Jos the following day in the morning. So it was, at dusk. He came back maybe around 6 or 7 p.m. And he didn't come back with any chair anyway. Where have you been? What's going on? And he said, he was too tired. He just went to sleep. And not till today, I didn't even ask where he went to sleep.
Where he went to sleep, yes.
Honestly,
okay, and you left
I
your
didn't
new
even
bride.
ask him where was it that you went. You can see how I didn't even make that an issue.
Yes,
because that's a big problem. Like, how can you just go and sleep like this when you were supposed to go and get chairs? So that's how we started the marriage. And that night, he also informed me that he had gotten a job because he used to do the business of these aluminum doors and roofing sheets. They weren't very common back in the days. And sometimes you have to get your supplies from Lagos. So it was that night of our wedding that he informed me that the very next day he was going to travel to Lagos.
Oh, wow.
You are not aware.
Yeah.
As we were planning this wedding and everything, he knew he had gotten the business now, the contract. I didn't even know he was going to travel a day after our wedding.
So you were effectively living with a stranger. at that point.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, there was no, he was not communicating. I mean,
No.
he's no.
It was that night of the wedding that he disappeared and came back because he was tired and I wasn't tired. You know, so he went to sleep. Now came back. That night he told me, oh, I'll be leaving for Lagos first thing tomorrow morning to go and get supplies for. I knew he had gotten the job.
He left the next day.
Oh yes, he left.
So there
the
was
next
no
day.
honeymoon, nothing.
Yes,
I mean,
leaving me with his sister and his mom.
oh wow, okay.
Yes, so that's how I started.
I mean, if he has communicated this earlier, it shouldn't be a problem. So I'm asking
Absolutely,
you.
it
If
would
he
not have
had
been
to,
because
yes,
that's how, and that was how we even lived in the marriage. Because I
Yes.
would, you know, I'll just see him doing things. No, you know, we wouldn't sit and actually even discuss things together. He didn't think he needed to inform me. You know, he would rather just inform me when he's taking that decision or when things are about to happen.
There was no proper
rather.
communication.
So you
like,
stopped
let's
becoming
sit
a
down.
stakeholder.
I was never a
You were never a
stakeholder.
stakeholder.
Pema, I was never a stakeholder.
You were never a
No, she
stakeholder.
was not.
Hello, this is Happily Together, where we share real stories of people thriving against the odds. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on other stories. And remember, give it a like, drop a comment, let us know that you are there.
Follow us on all our social media handles: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and X. You don't want to miss out on more interesting stories.
Remember to share this video so you can help someone out there find us. Now, back to the story.
So,
So, I
take us through
mean-
the 9 years.
I swear.
Through the 9 years.
I mean, if this is day one, I'm
Yeah,
just
I'm-
asking myself,
yes.
what is 9 years like? Okay.
Exactly. Exactly. So, and for me, that's why even when I started writing on Facebook, I felt it was important for me to actually start from the beginning.
Absolutely.
Because when you just start anywhere, oh no, this marriage, I just left, and everybody is insulting you every time. Bad woman.
Yeah.
But they needed to see
So
where
to
I
see
was
where-
coming
yeah,
from. Yes.
absolutely.
How it all started, how we got to this point where, you know, I now said no. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
So he left for Lagos.
He left for
he
Lagos.
left for Lagos and came back. We just started living our normal lives.
An abnormal kind of normal, yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we started 1 year, no pregnancy, nothing, and that was a problem. Just 1 year.
No.
Just 1 year.
Problem from who?
Well, that was a problem for
For
him.
him.
Yes.
For him,
Because as soon as we got married, I was supposed to just get pregnant.
as far as he was concerned.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Things just work like that.
Okay.
And it became a problem. And I was shocked when he started threatening me. If you don't get pregnant, I'm going to impregnate my girlfriend. Like,
Oh,
hello.
really?
When I met you, you didn't even have a girlfriend. Or I thought
Yeah. I
you
agree.
didn't have any because we had discussed these things from the very beginning. Are you in a relationship? I told him, you know, I had just broken up
Broken up
from
with her.
one, and he said he wasn't in any relationship. So where is this coming from? And of course, most times when we're having these conversations, when we're having this, when I want to have any, he never liked to
Being
dialogue,
questioned.
discussions on anything. So I was just talking to myself. He has already told me.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
And
But
so-
maybe prior to that, did you discuss
Babies,
maybe
children.
babies or children
the
in your
courtship,
courtship,
yeah.
or you didn't do that? There was no discussion.
Well, yes, when we're courting, of course, how many kids are we going to have?
Yeah.
But they weren't even.
Real discussions. I
Yes,
guess.
yes, we didn't really have
Okay.
much discussions around that. And so,
So he's already threatening.
Threat-
oh
threatening you.
yes. And so I had that to deal with.
Mm.
And I remembered in the first year of our marriage, what am I even saying? Not even the first year. We got married in November 1999, and this was 2000 February. There was another serious crisis religious crisis in Kaduna. In fact, it was very close to
Where you live
around our
area.
Ongwa. You know, there in Ongondosa.
21st February 2000. I was living in Kaduna.
Then he decided that Well, let me put it this way. That morning, he just told me that, look, a truck is coming. That morning.
Yeah.
One morning, rather.
Yeah.
One morning like
Yeah.
that. He just informed me that a truck was coming to pack our things to his place.
Okay.
His
Yes.
place.
This is after the
To his
crisis.
village,
To his
yes.
village, yes. Okay.
And I mean,
So does
like
that
I
mean
said
we're
before,
moving?
before
Yes.
now, it's always, he just comes and tells you. He's
Just
just
take the
informing
decision
you.
and
Yes.
inform you.
He had already decided long before that time. And I said, excuse me. Like, he said, what don't I understand? He said everything. The truck is coming this morning. Him and his sisters have already, gotten a big truck that is coming to pack all their properties. Then I asked him, are we relocating? Then he said no. So I couldn't understand. Are these properties more valuable than our own lives?
You're
But
relocating
yes,
properties, but not humans.
Not
yeah?
human
exactly.
beings.
We are going to
I mean, because
remain.
I thought he was doing that because of safety.
Of the safety.
Yes, so that day I just said, well, this was just 3 months after our
After
wedding.
the wedding, yeah.
So I just said, you know what? Just pack your things and leave mine. Because at that point, I was just like, I beg, I don't even understand this thing. I just said, just pack your things and leave mine. 3 months after our wedding.
Yeah, and culturally, you would have come to the marriage with kitchen,
yes.
bedroom.
Stuff that's,
yeah.
I had bought for myself and stuff that my family even
Bought for
brought, bought for me. And so the truck came and they started to pack. And he even ignored what I said about him leaving my own stuff.
Yes.
And of course, I did not protest.
Yeah.
So they moved everything, and were left, even rugs from the floor, yes. So we're left with just a mattress on a bare floor. Not even the bed frames. Not even the bed frames.
Yeah.
So, and this is just 3 months into
the marriage.
Yes, into the marriage. And like you said earlier, so you can actually imagine the rest of the months and the years. Yes. So that was that, and we moved the stuff. So we're still in Kaduna, and my grandfather, I had a very close bond with my grandfather. And he was worried. My family too were worried, especially when they heard that crisis, actually happened around that area. But I assured them that we were okay. And then I told him that I needed to go home. First of all, in that February, my mom had a surgery that became complicated. And I heard about it. I was very worried. I told him I wanted to go home to see my mom. And he did not say no, but he did not also say okay. So, of course, I knew what that meant. I couldn't go. I remained. And this time around, I told him I needed to go and see my family. And he said, but he doesn't have money to fuel car then, from Kaduna to Jos.
Yes.
So I told him I had money. So I'll fuel the car. So I did. And we came, visited my people for, I think we came and went back to Kaduna the following day. And then 2 days after, we were ready to travel to his village. And I was like, with which money?
Oh, really?
Yes.
So now
and even that going to his village, I was not even aware.
Oh, well.
Yes,
so just shortly after your back from
before we came, it's something that because
agency had been taken off
so
you.
far, exactly. It's so far, from Kaduna that even planning to go to his village was something that we should have even talked about. So he was going to say that, okay, now we're planning to go to the village. Okay, we have to go to Jos again and all of that. But I told him I wanted to go to Jos, and then he said
no
he didn't.
money.
Yes, he had no money.
You gave money.
Yes.
I just want what was happening to your business. Sorry, I'm remembering that you were running a business in the home.
Yes, in my own house.
So after the wedding,
after the wedding, I still had the place. My rent had not expired.
Oh, okay.
But I wasn't going to continue using that place. Eventually, I rented a shop space.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so
Very
your
close
your
to-
stuff,
our
your
tailors were
tailoring stuff were
yes.
not taken to the village with them.
No, 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 no.
Thankfully.
No,
Thank
and,
God.
and then actually
Yes.
he also told me, seeing that I was running my business at home, he told me that I could not he
your
he didn't want that
Yeah.
in the house. He didn't want where he will be having my business right in the house. And for context also, I could not have moved my things to his place because I was living and running my business in a 4-bedroom apartment.
Oh, wow. So it's a
But
big
his
business.
house was a 2-bedroom apartment.
wow.
Yes, yes. So you can see how that could not have worked.
Please take us back to that, going to his village now.
So you
Exactly.
went to the village.
Yes, so no, first to my village. And then we returned to Kaduna and then
And then he had money to
yes,
go home.
yes, said that we were going
had
to
money
the
to go
village.
home.
I tell you.
So that's how like a sheep being led to the slaughter. Yes, we went to the village.
And that's several hours.
Oh yes,
To his
from
village.
Kaduna to his village is like 12 hours.
Wow.
And from
yes.
Kaduna to Jos is like less than 4 hours then.
Oh yes,
Three.
yes.
Three, about
4
about
hours.
3 then.
Yes.
Back then.
And he didn't have
So-
money, but now you are going 12 hours,
12 hours.
just
Yes.
journey.
So we went to his village, and I mean, I didn't know how long. I had a business, but I just
You didn't know how long
left
you were
like
supposed
that.
to
I
stay.
didn't know how long I was going to stay in this place. I didn't know anything. But I mean, I had accepted there as home too because I liked his family. They were good to me. And so it's home. I'm married to this guy. I mean, 2 days, a day or two after we got to the village, he just woke up this morning and said he was going to the market. Can I come with you? I said, no, just stay. And when he said he was going to the market, I actually thought he was going to shop for
For the family or for
food
the-
stuff and
Yeah.
all of that. But this guy returned with a truck load of building materials.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Truck load of building materials, cement, all that. This guy is going to build a house. Hello. This is the guy who did not have money to fuel his
fuel
car
a car.
to go to Jos.
Was buying things to
I
build
didn't even
a
know
house.
he even had that kind of money.
Money.
sef. Well,
You were practically in the dark about your life.
I was living
Yes.
with a stranger,
was the one
a
in-
total stranger.
Yeah.
So I saw that and I was like, hello. And I didn't even say anything to him, but I was not happy.
Of course.
You see, not because I don't want him to build a house, but I mean, I was really shocked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm sure that if I had done same to him, he would not have
fit-
taken
no,
that.
of course,
Yes.
Of course.
And I started to discuss with my mother-in-law. That's, Mama, I'm not even aware of this. So. And even this morning, he just said he was going to the market like casually. I didn't think, I was not even aware. Like, my daughter, no problem. It's all for us. And anyway, so that's how we started this journey. Every year we'll go to the village. Of course, when it's Christmas, everyone has to, there's always an exodus
Yeah, to go home.
to go home, and we will have all sorts of misunderstandings. And by the way, my stuff that I bought, for my marriage, which the gifts that my family had brought, which were all packed to
Yeah.
his village,
Yes.
I didn't even have the right to take anything from there. And especially if, I wanted to carry a few stuff to bring back,
yes.
because that was why I bought them in the first place. That's why my family and friends gifted me those things
It's
in the
for you
first
to
place.
use it in your home.
And once, even if it's a pack of glasses, glass cups or
Yes.
mugs I want to take, all hell will let loose. Is this not your home? But it's my home. Am I using them here? Even if I'm using them here, am I going to use everything here? Or how does it make sense that I'll have to go back to Kaduna and start buying these things all over
the same
again?
thing you
And it's
need
not
to-
like he's going to give me the money to go and buy.
Yeah.
If I need to use them, I'll have to go to the market to buy these things myself with my money. So sometimes I'll just be like, you know what? And he said, no, his car, he cannot carry this. It's a lot of load.
That's deprivation.
So I just decided that I will not even deal with all these kinds of things. So what I would do is I'll take what I want to take, enter public transport in a place that I do not know, a place that for me is even risky, for a stranger. I will go from that village, take public transport, do how many buses to go to the city to be able to weigh bill my stuff. So that's how I started to move. A few years, not much. I still left a whole
everything.
chunk, yes, there. And so 2 years, my first child came 2 years after. Yes.
Oh, finally.
Oh, yes, yes.
Finally, he's
So
not going out.
we didn't get the side chick again. Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
No
yes,
side
yes.
chick.
Well, the side chicks were probably there, but
At least, yeah.
At least the child is here now.
God helped me. God helped me. So, yeah, so the baby came, and there was the baby's coming did not make any difference in our relationship. Everything was already broken.
Yeah.
Yes, the whole marriage was broken before it started, as far as I am concerned.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to patch, or I was trying to patch. He might have been trying to patch in his own way, but that was how I saw it. That I was the only one who was trying to hold things together. So who were there like that. The first child came, and then the second 2-3 years later. But before the second, our second child arrived, after the first child, I took in again, but I miscarried that pregnancy. And that also came with its own wahala. Yes. So I took in, actually not very long. I don't even think my first child was up to a year when I took in for the second, when I had the second pregnancy. So it came with its own issues, the pregnancy. I started spotting, bleeding, at the first trimester. So I started visiting the hospital, and the doctor at some point said to me that, Madam, I wish you were coming here with your husband, so that you need to rest. You need, it's now that I even know why they place women on bed rest and all of that.
Yes.
But me, I'm a natural hustler. And whether I'm pregnant or not, I'm just grateful to God that from the day I take in to the day I give birth, I'm going to keep walking. I walk and walk and walk until I give birth, So I was just going about my business. But the doctor didn't think that was okay. And me, I didn't know how serious the situation, yes.
It really was.
And so I just kept on with what I was doing. And even when he said he wished the man was here, I was like, oh, thank God he's not even here. At least nobody's even going to tell me not to hustle. So I continued like that. And it was time for in December of 2021.
2001.
Sorry, in December of 2001.
That's about 2 years after the marriage, yeah?
Yes.
Marriage was November 99.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, was it? I can't even remember the dates very well now. Anyway, it was my elder sister had passed now. My elder sister, who was my best friend, yes, she had passed, and we're preparing for her first year memorial. Yes. So I told him I wanted to go home for that. And he did not approve of it, of course, but me, there was no stopping. There was no stopping me. So I still made my plans, carried my child, and I left
I mean,
for
this was your sister.
Your sister,
Yes.
your really close
He
sister.
knew
Close-
her and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
everything. Yes.
I mean, he should be the
So-
one to even say we need to go.
No.
Yeah.
Not even you.
So I still left anyway. I came to just for
The
the
memorial.
memorial. But even before the day of the memorial, and one of my younger sisters too had arrived, into town. So coming from my mom's place, I stopped by to pick her up. I think we're going to do something in town. And it was just right there that I just heard something.
Sure.
Yes, and I started bleeding seriously, profusely. And that's how they rushed me to Bingham,
Hospital, yeah.
yes. University teaching hospital. And the doctor looked at me, checked the situation, and he told me that,
Yeah, close to the-
yes, that this baby, was not going to make it. The pregnancy was still very young, and I was already in my second trimester at this point, but that they did not have the facilities to keep the child, and if the child actually comes out alive, they won't be able to do. I just said anything, please, to save my life. And so that's how they evacuated the baby. The child was dead already. And I called him and informed him. And the moment I told him, the first thing he said, the only thing rather at that point that he said to me was, now you're happy that you've gone to Jos, right? That was all. And he dropped the
Imagine
phone.
that.
And he dropped the phone on me. And
No comfort,
yes.
like blaming you.
He never called back. He never talked about the hospital bills. Didn't talk about anything. And the following day, he called. And you would think, he was calling to check up on me. But at this point, he was calling to know the gender of the child that we lost.
Wow.
And then I said to him, it's a male. It was a male. And then he dropped the phone again. It was later I got to know from my friend, whose husband, was his friend.
Okay.
That, he wept that day and was saying how, and it was because of that now that me and my mom became witches again. My mom does not want me to bear, a male child for him.
Oh, he was saying that.
Oh, yes, he actually even said that to me afterwards.
Oh, wow.
The hospital bills, everything was paid for by my mom.
Oh, wow.
The entire hospital stay until I left. The baby was carried. One of my cousins picked the child and buried it in my parents' house there. Yeah. And so that's how it went. And afterwards, I had another child. It was a girl. And the day after, yes, he decided to leave business and join civil service. And I think he resumed his job just the very next day after I had my second child.
Okay.
So understandably, he couldn't be around, and the job is in Abuja. So I had my child on a Sunday. He had to leave on that Sunday so he could resume work. To his first day of work the following day. And I remembered how that very next day, my first child needed to be in school. I mean, this is me. She was just a little girl. She didn't even need to go to school. But because my body had gotten so used to walking and all of that, I pushed a child out on Sunday. On Monday, I took my child to
School.
and I went to see my tailors. Someone had heard I had given birth. She came to see she came to see us, and she only met the newborn.
No, that was.
She only met so I didn't have that kind of luxury that other women. Yes, I didn't have the luxury of sitting at home for one day. You know, people would say, no, you can't. But every single time I'm sitting, I'm thinking that it's money that is passing me by. You know, these tailors are going to be idle. They won't do anything, and I'm still going to pay them salary anyway. So me, I will not waste any time. And by the way, me, my body, I'm not feeling anything now. So what's the problem? So I got used to
being
walking
on your own.
like that. I was in a marriage, but I was alone.
I think that was why you were not even prioritizing self-care.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, I was in a marriage, but I was completely alone, caring for myself emotionally, physically, economically, in all ways, caring for my own children too.
I mean, as a man, I must say that, I mean, you're not just talking for yourself. I can categorically say that hearing this story from the beginning to this point that if I'm to be, I mean, the summary is that you're on your own. You're right, absolutely right that you're on your own. I don't feel
completely on my own.
I don't feel that
there's no support. There's no partner support.
In marriage with a man that loves you or care about you. I mean, that's the fact. Yeah.
But at this point, were you thinking about it that way? Like, were you thinking about the fact that this guy does not even like me? Or were you still hoping
things will change?
Yeah.
You know, funny enough, I was even thinking that, so maybe that's how marriage is for a lot of people. Even though I knew people whom I couldn't say this was exactly what they were experiencing. But I just told myself that everyone had their battle. But one thing I knew was that I wasn't happy. Yeah. And it didn't feel right. You know.
But you're just there.
Yes, I was not happy at all. I had lost my
spark.
Yes. You know, so I didn't care about a lot of things. I'm not someone who maybe will go out, dress and do all of that. But at that point in my life, I didn't even care anything. I am a fashion designer, sewing clothes every day for people, but I could go a whole year without making a new dress for myself.
I mean, at this point, I was going to ask you, man, to tell us.
The soul was drying up.
Do you, while that was going on, do you sometime, like, let's say in the morning, walk to your husband and say, "Hey, honey, I think we really need to talk. Like, I'm not, something is missing. I'm not feeling, you know," just share with him. Yes. Maybe something, and does he really give you attention or something?
Well, I wasn't getting attention, and I think I was already used to
how
that.
he was. Yeah.
Yes. But sometimes I'll get so worried over issues that I'll say, "Please, we need to talk about this." I remembered one day that I said, "Look, you know what? Whether you like it or not, we are going to have to talk today. We must talk today." And he said to me, "You have to come and open my mouth."
Oh, wow.
So you can imagine that.
Yeah.
So I just knew that, look, I was just on my own, you know. And so my second baby came. He was already in Abuja, and then he wanted us to, he started talking about relocation. At least now somebody was even trying to plan something with me, you know. No, you need to move to Abuja and all of that. And I wasn't even excited at even knowing I had my siblings in Abuja. So at least I was very, very okay in Kaduna. And at that point, it even felt good to me that we were not even living together. So when he wasn't around, at least I had that peace. Yes. I somehow had that peace, because whenever we're together, it's always, or you're getting that attitude, somebody is not talking to you for no good reason, just the emotional abuse and all of that. So, and then he started to talk about we coming to join him in Abuja. Then I said, no, it's not really necessary. You can be coming home every fortnight and all of that. And I said, no, he cannot,
The shuffling.
no, not even the shuffling. He cannot afford to have
Rent
two
two houses,
homes, so. And to me, I felt it made sense that so if he can't afford to pay the rent in Abuja and still pay for Kaduna, that it only made sense that I would move. But I was also worried about the fact that I knew at that point in my life that, or even in my life, well, as a business person, that can I even afford a shop in Abuja? I knew I couldn't. And I knew also that this guy couldn't afford to do that for me. So I talked to him about it, and he said that he thinks I should just come and sit at home, that just take care of the children. And I've been doing business, running my business since I was 20 years old, making my money, supporting people with my money, and then suddenly just come and sit at home like that. But I wasn't happy in my marriage, but I loved being married.
Okay. Yeah.
Like when people come that, these people, I genuinely loved being married. But it was just unfortunate that I wasn't happy in my marriage. So I felt that there was no sacrifice that was too much
to make
for me to make. And so I said, okay, for the sake of, for the sake of my marriage, let me try being, a stay-at-home mom. Yes. For the sake of my children. And that's how we relocated to Abuja, and I became a stay-at-home mom.
The question I was going to ask was there any point that you were thinking about getting out? But then you just answered that when you said you loved the idea of being married.
I loved it, but like I said earlier, I wasn't happy.
Yeah, you knew you were not happy.
So yes, somehow I knew that long term, that I didn't see a future.
Yeah. Okay.
Because at that point I wasn't prioritizing my happiness, but I also knew that living like that was not sustainable. I wasn't going to continue living like that. But I didn't know at what point I was going to leave.
Okay.
Yes. I didn't really have a plan.
Yeah.
There was no plan.
Okay.
I'll take you back to because when you're talking about your husband asked you to move to Abuja and you're leaving your business behind, was there any point in time that he supported your business?
There was no time. Not once. Not one kobo. No time.
Okay.
No time.
Yes, never.
And the marriage put so much strain on my business that my business started to collapse.
When you were back to ground zero, one mattress, what happened? Did you guys build up furniture again in the house?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We started to buy again. We started, and that was him anyway. Buying those things.
So he bought.
Yes, and then me, once in a while when we go to his place, I'll just pick a few things and then maybe buy some from the markets if I could. And then, but in terms of even the upkeep for the family, I wasn't getting what I was expecting to get from him. And for me, this is not because he did not have, but it's a way of, the kind of control that will make you spend yours so that, you will not be empowered.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I was going to ask, so what do you mean by he was not providing, or what you're expecting? What
Okay, and
specifically?
to be fair to him, I would not come out here to say that he was not providing
Providing.
at all. But you know, when someone will give you 5% or 10% when you need 100,
Okay.
I mean, and this is not me. Anyone who knows me personally will know that I am not an unreasonable person.
Yeah.
So if I'm saying 100, I'm not saying 100 because I want him spending what he should not be spending money on. Basic things. If the upkeep is supposed to be 50,000 naira, why was I getting 5,000 naira? Because if I have a son today, I do have a son, and I tell him, when you get married, if you're not ready to take responsibility 100%, don't get married. If you have a good wife, she will support you.
Yes.
If you have a good wife, because every woman would want to support her husband, but don't put that responsibility on her. Don't put that responsibility on
I
somebody's
mean, it's a
child.
responsibility of men to
It
take
to
is a
provide
man's
and protect.
responsibility to take care of his woman 100%, not 50, not 90, not 99, 100%.
And you weren't
Then
even
this
getting
good-
50.
I wasn't getting 50. I wasn't even getting 30. I wasn't even getting 30.
And this is not because he may not have. I
He
mean,
was doing well in civil
he
service.
was doing
Yeah.
well. Like
So yes, when we say doing well in civil service, ideally, you know, how much, like everyone would ask you that, how much do civil servants earn? So that's why, again, I'm saying that I am not an unreasonable person. I am not. If your salary is, for example, if your salary is 20,000 naira, I'm not asking you to bring 20,000 naira to me. But our reality, if our reality demands that you bring 10,000 naira, I expect that you bring that 10,000 naira. But it's not that you now go and bring 2,000 naira. So that's why I'm not sitting here to say that he was not bringing at all. It was barely enough. And that barely enough was not because he could not afford to give more.
I hear you.
But he knows that every time I don't give this woman, wherever she's going to get it from, she's going to
go and
bring
get
it.
the balance.
You know? So that made my own business to suffer. Because there's no how I was going to see that my family needed something and I was not able to provide for them.
So let's go back to Abuja. Finally.
So you had to crumble the business in Just first? in Kaduna?
Oh, yes. I shut down I closed my business. Exactly. I had to, I liquidated. I had to sell a lot of my machines and all of that because I'm used to having my own money. So imagine that I'll have to come and sit and then be asking for even little amounts of money. So I started selling my stuff. Anyway, I was coming to Abuja to be a stay-at-home mom, and I wasn't going to be running. Even when I asked if I could, we had space in the backyard, and I asked if I could just, put up a place where tailors could work. And he said no, he did not want anything in his house. So, I mean, that's how.
My wife, I'm married, by the way. My wife, I remember when we got married, I noticed that she's passionate about tailoring or fashion design. So, this is how I wish she's here so that it won't look like I'm talking on her behalf. I have to ask her, so what do you need? So I'm saying for a reasonable man, he should be encouraging his wife to do what she really
I never
is
got
passionate
that kind of
about.
support.
Yeah.
So for how many years were you now a housewife, stay-at-home mom? Housewife. Let's call it housewife. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Because you could be a stay-at-home mom and still
do something.
Yes. Because eventually, when I left the marriage, that's how I started up. Still running my business is the best way for me to run my.
So from that
business.
2004, sorry to cut in. From that 2004, you never ran anything again until the marriage was over?
No, I did.
Oh, okay.
I got to a point where I saw that this staying at home was not going to be sustainable. No. So I first started and then some of my customers who were in Abuja, And I used to sew for them from Kaduna.
Kaduna.
Yes. So I informed them that, look, I have now relocated. I'm now in Abuja and established. So I would go out there, collect jobs, take orders, take the work, outsource the work, pay the tailors, and then
Take it back to
so that's how I actually just started. And so sometimes I'll send my kids to school, run to town. We're living in Kubwa, run to town, take fabrics, go to the market, buy what I could buy, come back to Kubwa. And then so I didn't just sit there for a long time. I couldn't.
So what are other dramas? I will use dramas now, that happen in Abuja.
So staying in Abuja, I mean, the whole thing was just, I don't know if I would say, yes, some days were good, but most parts, yeah. And in our marriage, it was just normal that things were upside down. It was normal. Don't let me say abnormal. It was normal. So we're just used to that dysfunction and everything. Sometimes we're talking, sometimes we're not talking. And yes, and actually when I had my son, the last trimester, we were not talking. And when I say the last trimester, I mean the whole 3 months.
Oh, wow.
You were living in the same house and you were not talking.
Yes, we were not talking.
And you're pregnant.
I was pregnant. Even before the pregnancy came, exactly. So I had my 2 daughters. There was still that pressure about how my mother made me not to. I don't even know how.
Get the boy.
That's my mom's business anyway. But somehow they have to drag in anybody that's dear to you and disrespect them in ways that, to really get at you. And so I just thought, in fact, there's this friend of mine who kept putting pressure on me you need to try one more time. Maybe you're going to have a son. And all that didn't make sense to me. Then I said, what if I try again and I have a daughter? What will then happen? And everything this man is doing, I can assure you that it has nothing to do with the fact that I don't have a son, because he is not going to change even if I have a son. He still would have been a good man even if I had 10 daughters.
That's true.
So I do not think, somehow I couldn't really exactly say what he was or describe him, but I could actually explain some things in ways that maybe only I could understand, So I kind of knew that wasn't the problem, even though I couldn't tell exactly what the problem was.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you, so do you know why you are not talking for 3 months?
No, of course I knew that now. He was used to, it was a normal thing that he would start,
pick on
start giving me attitude. And initially in our marriage, I'll be so worried and, just be trying to ask or even beg, no, now, what is it? Talk to me. But at that point, I didn't care. I did not care whether he was talking or not. Before then, even when we're not talking, I would actually cook, I would keep, he will shall come and eat the food. But at that point, I wasn't even keeping food for him. I will cook, because most of the time, is it not my money I'm even using to cook? Oh yes, now. So I will cook and eat the food. Me and my children will finish. Even if the food is not finished, though, I'll pack it out of that pot and keep it wherever I want to keep it. And he knows that. And he started buying food from outside. He'll now come, carry, and he cooks. So he cooks very, very well. So, but he comes back, carries a flask, goes, gets food, brings, and So that's how it was until when we came back to Abuja, things didn't change really. And staying in the same space, just made it worse. So I think sometimes if one's marriage is like that and you're not living together, it makes it a lot easier. But the pressure, the tension, if you have to stay in the same space every time, no. So the last trimester, when he's leaving, there's no goodbye. When he's coming back, there's no welcome from me, no nothing. Not talking at all. So, but if I need to communicate something, I could just send my child. Go and tell your dad this. Oh, yes, yes. It got that bad. And I remembered even before, was it before I took in or when I realized I had taken in for my son? I started planning my exit at that point. It did not matter that I was now pregnant, you know. So I wasn't looking at it that, oh, because I'm now pregnant, okay, now I have to leave again and start raising this child. I just knew. I didn't know the exact date, but I knew that the time is almost here.
There.
Yes. You know, so I remembered making this big bunk bed and everything. So I told myself that I don't even know where I'm going to move to. Maybe it's just going to be a small one room somewhere so that at least the room can contain this bed. Yes, the children and I will all be able to sleep comfortably and all of that. And so that's how the last trimester went until when I now started feeling those pangs of labor. And then I just went in and I said to him, I'm in labor. Please come and take me to the hospital.
Okay.
Yes. So I went and sat. And my labor is usually very, very fast and, you know, sharp and fast. So once I hear that first kick, once I feel that first thing, I know I'm almost there. And at that point, even 3 weeks before, you know how, you know, the baby could come before or years after. I'd been carrying my maternity bag in my car.
Okay.
Because in case I felt anything, I would just, or if he is not willing to take me to the hospital. So, and surprisingly, he just got dressed and said, let's go.
Okay.
So that's how we went to the hospital, had my baby. And I'll tell you
it
something
looks
funny.
like it looks like it was going to be the icebreaker.
Well, to me at that point, nothing mattered to me
anymore.
Yes, nothing mattered to me. I had also checked out because I think before that time, I was all alone in the marriage. Yes. You know, I was all alone. The guy had left long time before. And at that point, I had also decided, you know, I had checked out mentally. And there's a girl who lived with us. And, you know, she couldn't understand how a grown-up girl, and she had come to spend 1 year in our home because she was preparing to get married and she just needed to raise some money and all of that. She said to me, Auntie, how is it that you guys are able to live like this? And I
She could see clearly that.
Yes, anybody, my sister-in-law then, their firstborn said to me one day that, how do you people survive in this house? Because when you come to our home, you can almost actually feel the tension with a knife.
Wow.
There's no how you come into that home and you will not feel it. You yourself, you come and you will feel uncomfortable.
So I wanted to ask, was there any, I mean, religiously, you guys got married in church, in the Anglican church. Was there any intervention by church?
Oh, yes.
Over the years?
Yeah, or
Did
even
anybody?
mentor
Because
something.
Yes.
It also felt
you know,
so
even
isolated.
in the Anglican church, you have like sponsors of
Yes.
your wedding and all of that. I reached out to them once and
the reception.
Yes, they weren't really forthcoming, you know. And so I just left it there. And you know, there's this thing about, I think it's something that I have noticed from their own culture. that people don't like getting involved.
No.
It's not like, so that's also some of the challenges of intertribal,
Marriages,
yes,
yeah.
interethnic marriages. Where it is okay in your own culture, in another culture, it might be it might be a no-no.
Okay.
You know.
Oh.
So I reached out to them, but eventually at the point that the church came in, things had really gone really bad. And even when the church came in, he was the one who reached out to them. Because when we moved to Abuja, there was this time, it was going to be my dad's 10th year memorial, you know. So family had planned everything, and then I was supposed to go, and he said I wasn't going to attend again.
Your father's
Yes.
memorial.
Just like he did during your
Yes,
sister's.
yes. And he said no. So I just quickly reached out to my uncle. I needed someone to talk to him, at least someone that he would have some regards for. And I said, this is the situation. And I said, okay. My uncle agreed to speak with him. And then my uncle called, and what my uncle just said to me was, this your marriage is only you guys understand it. When you know, that was what he said to me. Because I told your husband, and he said, you will not, yes, you will not be able to come. And that if you go, that you shouldn't come back to his house, his house. And so right there, my uncle asked me, so what's your decision? And I said, uncle, there's no problem. If I don't attend, it's not the end of life now. But you see, at that instance, I knew that marriage was over.
Yeah.
I knew it was over. But I didn't want the drama of me going, then coming back, then we're quarreling or we're fighting again. I just said, look, I'll just take my time, plan everything. But that moment, I knew that marriage was over. So
that was your final straw, basically.
Well,
mentally, I mean.
Yes, sort of. Yes, until the hospital incident happened.
In the hospital.
Yes.
I mean, let's go back
So we're
to
getting to the hospital now.
Hospital incident.
And there's something I even did not talk about. A year after, just 1 year into our marriage, a friend of mine was getting married, and they left everything to me. So like I was the events planner for the. So I was overwhelmed. There was so much I had to do and organize. Where I kept my bag, I came and saw it was just an empty bag. Everything I had in my bag, was gone. My bag had been emptied. There was my camera, my purse, just everything. That camera was my husband's camera. And I didn't even know how to let him know that this was what happened to me. And then the camera had been stolen. This happened on a Saturday. It was on Sunday after service. Imagine that I couldn't tell him. I dreaded how he was going to react. But I knew I needed to tell him. So I told him, I said, look, this is what happened. And of course, he fled. And he said, you have to pay me back my camera. 1 year into marriage.
Wow.
1 year. I said I should
you
pay him
should
back.
pay the camera.
That he was giving me 1 month to pay that camera, to return that. However, I was going to get it. But he wants his camera.
Goodness.
And yes. This is your husband.
Yes. My husband of 1 year.
Of 1 year.
Not husband of 10 or 20 years old. That he's tired of
Technically
all my
still
nonsense.
honeymooners. Yeah.
Exactly. So, I said, okay. Of course. I said, okay. So he left for work. I also left for work. We came back. And he now came after that evening. He said, you know what? I had told you 1 month, right? But I've changed my mind. I'm giving you 1 week. No longer 1 month. No longer 1 month. You have 1 week.
Yes.
You have 1 week to return my camera. I did not have money then. I reached out to my elder sister, crying. Ooh, the phone, please, please, please. I have to. You know what my elder sister told me? She said, if he's going to kill you because of this camera, let him kill you. Because I do not see how that is possible. That if you even have the money, if I have ways of getting this money so that you don't pay him back, let me see what he's going to do to you. But honestly, I was too afraid. I was too afraid. I didn't think he was going to kill me anyway.
Yes.
But I couldn't even stand him being angry. I can't even understand now.
Yes.
Do you get?
Yeah.
So I remembered this and I just thought I needed to.
To add
very
that
important.
in.
So
Yeah,
what happened?
yeah.
So did you?
Eventually I paid.
You
Oh,
did
wow.
Eventually I paid. And I borrowed money.
To get a camera.
Yes.
to pay him.
I borrowed money. We went to buy that camera with him. I knew how much he bought the camera. I knew where he bought that camera from. And I just kept praying that when I go, they'll still have
the very same thing.
exact same camera for me to buy.
1 year into your
Oh, yes.
marriage.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Wow, wow.
This is when people will
Yeah,
say
yeah,
people who may be pretending at least.
Yes.
Like, even
No,
if
No,
there
but he did
is-
not pretend. And I saw him for who he was. I
was,
saw him for who he
yeah.
was. There were a lot of things. And,
I hear
you know,
you.
sometimes, in as much as I want to share, but sometimes you're still trying. I remembered when I started sharing and people would come,
backlash.
would inbox me, some openly there. Is it everything you share? And I'm laughing like, you really think somebody can actually share everything?
Exactly.
You know, even what you want to share, you still can't even share everything. But I don't think I'm that stupid that I even would still, there are still things
You will never say.
that
Yeah.
I will never ever say. But these are things that my family know, that my friends know.
Absolutely.
So sometimes when people even reach out to them, and that's the reason why I was tagging people on my posts, because
Someone can
you
call
don't know me, but you would definitely know some of these people I have tagged. So you may want to also ask them, yes, like, is this true?
Meanwhile,
What
did he
do you
ever
know?
return the money for your car?
Oh, yes. Thank you very
okay.
much. Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
yes.
we-
He
Yes.
returned it.
Let's go to the hospital,
So no
the
financial-
last part of
yeah,
the
yeah.
story now.
Oh.
So take
Yes.
us through that story.
Okay.
So you see, my son was just 6 months old when I found out that I was pregnant again. Yes, so in all of this, even though before my son came, I was already planning to leave. And here was I was pregnant again with a fourth child.
Yeah.
Yes,
Actually, your fifth pregnancy.
my fifth
pregnancy,
pregnancy,
yeah.
yes. So at that point, I was feeling unwell, you know, somehow, and I went to the hospital, and I was shocked to see that I was pregnant again, because not because I don't know how people get pregnant,
Yeah.
but because I felt it was too early, in the sense that I didn't think my body had gotten to that point where it had healed enough to even
To even
conceive.
conceive,
Yes. So, but I was pregnant. And 2 months, I saw that I was pregnant, and then I just kept falling ill off and on like that. And then I returned to the hospital this particular day, and the doctor said that he just thinks we should do a scan. It was still later part of the first trimester. Yes. So I did a scan, and then the doctor said there was no fetal heartbeat. So it meant maybe the fetus was dead. But he said because it's a Catholic hospital, so he told me that they don't rush to evacuate, that this could be the situation. But the only way we're going to find out is to wait. That if it was not dead, that the pregnancy was still very young. It was still new, and sometimes the heartbeat ceases and it comes back. Yes. So let's wait. If it's not dead, the heartbeat will come back. But if it does not, I will start to bleed eventually, which will mean that, it's actually dead. So then we'll have to consider an evacuation.
Yeah.
So I left. And with that result, I came home and I told him. I remembered he was sitting and watching TV.
Yeah.
So I presented the scan to him. And then he did not even acknowledge, that somebody was even standing in front of him. And then I just dropped the slip on the stool beside him there.
Yeah.
And honestly, I do not even think he ever opened.
To check.
Yes, he might have opened it too, but if I think I knew him that well, I don't think he ever opened it. And I remembered coming back to that stool 2 days later. And I'm saying 2 days because someone was here, did you put not clean up? But it was there. Sure. 2 days later, I just picked it. And why did I pick it? Because, I was now wondering that this man could actually even carry this thing and just even shred it or something. So let me just carry my things. I just carried it and kept it away. And then when I started to bleed, and I mean the bleeding now started yes. And I told him, look, like I told you that day, the doctor has said I'll need to have an evacuation. This is how much it's going to cost. And I said, I don't have money.
Oh, you don't have money. As usual.
Yes, as usual. And so I decided to call his elder sister. And I said, Auntie, this is the situation. Oh, this is my situation right now. And then she said, okay, let me speak with him. And she will call me back. The first thing she now asked me was, but what happened to the pregnancy? I mean, I was bleeding. This is the emergency. This is what we're talking about. Why are you suddenly asking me what happened? So, but that wasn't even, I didn't even, all I said to her is, I do not know. And so I think they were suspecting that I tampered with the pregnancy. That was why I was in the situation. So he might have told her that, because you see, she didn't ask me this question when I first told her the situation. It was after she spoke with him. And then when she asked that, and I responded, and then she said, oh, yeah, your husband is saying that he does not have money. I said, so what's going to happen to me? If he doesn't have the money, what is going to happen to me? And she said, okay, let me see what I can do. And we just kept going back and forth like that. At that point, I had reached out to my elder sister, and she even rushed and came, gave me all the money she had on her. And I had some money. So what she brought was like mainly the balance. I was still bleeding, but I didn't think again that the situation was that bad. So I just told myself that, okay, Sunday, my sister came on a Friday. So I just said, okay, I'll wait till Monday, because Sunday was going to be my second child's birthday.
Okay.
This was in March. So it was going to be my second daughter's birthday. I had arranged, stuff for her to go to church to celebrate with kids in church. So I wanted to do that. And then on Monday, I'll now go to the hospital without realizing how serious my situation was. And so on that day at about 9 p.m., I was feeding my now 8-month-old baby. And then I just heard something, like that drop. It was a big lump of blood. Even I was scared. I was confused. Then I just went, I got up. I was just thinking, how do I get to the hospital? What do I do? And in that, while I was thinking of all of that, the children, what's going to happen? Then I just went and I stood in a corridor. Then the blood
Was flowing.
Yes, the blood was just flowing like that profusely. And then I told my oldest child to give me my phone. And then I called a family friend who is a gynecologist in far away Sokoto.
Okay.
And I called and I said, this is my situation. What do you think I should do? The only thing he told me, said, go to the hospital now. If you don't go, you're going to bleed to death.
And your husband,
he was
around.
right there watching me. So I think it was at this point that he was listening to my phone conversation. Then he now just said that if you want to go to the hospital, I'll take you. If you want to go to the hospital, I will never forget
that phrase.
Yes, that. So I said, yes, I want to go to the hospital. So I quickly rushed into the bathroom, washed up, wore a black pair of trousers, wore what I needed to wear to hold the blood, reached out to my next door neighbor and pleaded with her niece to please stay with my children while we go to the hospital. So at that instance, the compound we live in, we didn't have enough parking space. So cars were meant, every flat had their parking space. So he and I would park, would park behind each, so one would park and the other one behind like that. And I think his car was parked behind mine.
Okay. So it was the easy car to access.
Yes. So I just came out ready for him to take me to the hospital. And then he said, not in my car.
Not in whose car?
Not in his car. Because we're supposed to just get into his car and then
his car is behind yours.
Yes. And then he said, not in my car. And then I said, okay. So I reached back into the house, picked my own key. So he pulled his car out. I pulled mine. I drove out, and then he parked. And then I came out to give him give the key, hand the key to him,
so that he can take you.
Yes,
at least.
And he says, "You drive." I was just like a zombie.
Wait,
I mean, I think
first of all, he refused to use his car, and this time around, he's not going to drive.
He wasn't even going to drive.
So he's not taking you to the hospital. Yeah, he's not taking you to the hospital.
So he sat right there beside me while I drove myself in that condition. Yes, in that condition, I drove the car with him sitting beside me.
Your side.
To the hospital. Daughters of Charity Hospital, Biaji in Kubwa.
In Kubwa. Wow.
So that's how we got to the hospital that night. So we got to the hospital and then we sat there. We met other people, sitting and waiting. It was a small hospital then. And this was 2008. Yeah, 2009.
Okay. Yeah.
It was 2009. So we sat there waiting. There was only one doctor on call that night. So he was attending to an emergency like they told us. So we just sat there along with other people. And then at some point, he now came to meet me again that you're okay now. I think we should go.
Oh, nobody has attended to you yet?
No one had attended to me yet.
And he's saying you're okay?
Yes, since he didn't see
any
that blood
yeah,
anymore, yes. So he now said, I think you're okay, let's go. And the moment I stood up again,
the more blood dropped.
Yes.
Oh, you even agreed to...
I was ready to go again.
Oh, gee.
I was ready to go back home.
No, nah.
Oh, dear.
I was ready to go back home, So, but God saved me because when I got up like that, that's how
the blood started.
Yes.
Again.
And then everyone there now saw that I was the real emergency. And they started calling out for, please get that doctor, let him come. And the doctor came. We went into the consulting room. And he saw that I had come earlier, days before. They had booked me for an evacuation, but I did not have money. That was the situation. So the doctor, that's how I even got, because they had asked me to, I got the bill now. That's how I even knew what it was going to cost and everything. So the doctor saw in my file that I had been booked for an evacuation, and the only thing he asked was if I had the money now. So I told him yes, I had the money. So he now said, the doctor now said to me, not to the man that had come with me. He said to me to go and pay. At this point, I walked into the consulting room with that trail of blood.
Yes.
With that trail of blood.
And your husband is right there with you.
Yes. But I think we should even leave the husband now and face
the doctor.
Let's
The
talk
doctor.
about the
Yeah,
doctor
doctor,
that
yeah.
saw me in that condition
Yeah.
And sent
and still asked me to go and pay. So I went to the cashiers. Everywhere I walked was blood. Was blood in that hospital. I walked about how many. I walked about how many feet to go to the cashier and still bleeding. And the patients were sitting there and everybody just waiting in line. So I went there. I paid. Came back to the doctor's to the consulting room. Told him I had paid. But I noticed when I came, they were talking. They speak the same language. But I don't think my ex didn't know him. He was just seeing him for the first time because he had never accompanied me to the hospital or anything.
That was his first time.
Yes. So, but of course, they discovered they were the same tribe and everything. And so they were speaking in their language. But when I came in though, the conversation ceased. And he just said to me that, okay, I should wait, that he has asked them to go and prepare the theater and he'll come and attend to me. So he took me in, did the evacuation, and then he just said he advised that I spend the night in the hospital so that at least they'll watch me that night and then I can leave in the morning. Then he came and just told me that he needed to go back home to watch the children. I said, no problem. So he left. Of course, he left not with the car, but he left. The following day, it was my friend who came, my friend who also lived close to us, who came and picked me. Picked me up from the hospital. And
so
we
by
went
this
home.
time they were able to evacuate the baby?
Yes.
Okay,
they had done that even before he left. It was after the evacuation he told me he was going to go home.
Okay, I'm sorry. I mean, it's 18 years ago, but it's heavy. It's very heavy stuff.
This is not sounding like a story of husband and wife.
It's like you married your enemy. In fact, I think it's actually marrying your enemy, because no decent human being should treat another human being like that.
I came back home that morning, Sunday morning. It was my daughter's birthday. And the moment I walked in, I headed straight I was heading into the kitchen to put bathing water on fire to prepare myself and the children for church that morning. And then all he said, I just had an evacuation. And at least I expected a sorry. How are you feeling? But I didn't get that. What I got was, the doctor told me what you did. So you see, apparently that's what they were talking about.
What you did?
So I said, what? Immediately, in fact, I think I had even gotten into the kitchen and held the pot. I just dropped the pot and I came back. What I did? Then he said, yes, the doctor said you took something to make the pregnancy drop.
Really?
Oh, God.
And that's how I got so mad. I just went back, picked my key, went back into my car and drove back to the hospital to start a drama. In fact, it was serious. It was a serious issue in that hospital that morning. So as I was driving back to the hospital, I noticed he was driving behind me.
The driver?
No,
yes,
my ex. So I went into the hospital because it was still very early, and I just started screaming, where is the doctor that slept in this hospital last night? The doctor on call. Where is he? Because I knew he would still be in the hospital. It was still very early. Where is the doctor? Where is the stupid? was just saying all sorts of crazy things. And then, no, madam, the guy just came out. And then I just saw my ex right behind me. Then he even now left me and started talking to my ex that, is this how this woman, you cannot control your wife? I said, who control who? Control who and for what? What did you tell this man? And that's how he just dragged me out, dragged me away from there. And well, I just went back. I started crying profusely. It was just so much.
Painful.
It was too much. You know? So I just went back, and that instance said,
You just knew.
I think this is all. I don't have any more time to give to this man or to this marriage. You know, that instance I decided, but I did not move out that Sunday. I moved out the very next day in the morning because I needed to pack. I needed to pack my valuables, what I could. I couldn't pack much because at that point, even though I had already planning, you know, I was my plan B was on, but it was not
as solid.
Yes, it wasn't solid yet. So I just needed to pack what was important. And then I said to him, you know what? This marriage is not working. And I think we should both admit that it's not. So I'm leaving. And he said, okay.
Oh, that was
Then I said, but on one condition. And he said, what? That I live with the children. I'm living with the children. And he said, okay.
That was it.
Yes.
Okay.
And he said, okay. So I took what I could take. And then I said to him, right now, I'm not sure where I'm going to, but I just need you to keep all our stuff. Once I have my things, I have things put together, I'm coming back to pack this. But this guy, immediately we moved out, he packed my things and kept them out in the rain. By the time I came, no, he did not cover them. He did not do anything. It wasn't just my things. It was also his children's stuff. There. So by the time I came there, I couldn't really
use anything.
There was really nothing useful.
Goodness.
There was really nothing useful. But I mean, when I left, I felt I took what was most important. So I mean, so it was on that note that
9 years plus.
9 years plus. I think for me, the other thing that keeps shocking me is how was this person so cruel outside and still active in the bedroom? 5 children. You know, it's very. You would think that okay, if you don't want a person, you don't want anything to do with the person. But
it's control. Sometimes,
it's control.
Yes, to exert your dominance. There are lots of things that an abuser would do to you that you're wondering. And so sometimes when people just see that, oh, these people keep breeding, I call it breeding children. They're thinking that, no, these people must love themselves very much. But all of that, because when they come, they're not talking to you, and you in wanting to make them feel better, they now come, they want the conjugal rights, and then you're thinking that, okay, maybe when I allow things to be, but you'll be shocked that right after, the person is still as cold or even colder than they were even before that.
I mean, I must say that.
Yes.
I mean, so we've been having this really interesting talk, but so heavy that this happened 18 years ago. That's a lifespan of an adult. If a child was born that year, they're adults already. But I think that for us listening to the story, even knowing that you've gone past it and you've healed, and that's why you can talk about it, it was so heavy that we had to take this break. Like we there's no way we could absorb all of that. We had to go on break. So for those that, for our audience, we all had to go on break, and we're shooting in the city of Jos, Nigeria, where it's very cold. We had to take a cup of tea each to just calm our hearts down before we continue.
What would you say has kept you this 9 years plus in this marriage? I mean, because you knew right from the start, even from 0 year, that a lot of things were not going right. Because I know in our generation, you'll agree with me that not many people will tolerate this for 1 week,
For 1
not
week,
to talk of a month or a year. We're talking about almost 1 decade.
What kept me was I was hanging on to a hopeless hope. Yes, you're seeing clearly that this thing is not working. But something inside of you is saying that just endure a little more longer, that maybe things will change. And then it's how maybe our society looks at things, and I'm thinking, will my children blame me later in life that I was not patient enough? I would always consider my children, and I thought of that a lot. That maybe it's too early. Maybe my children are going to blame me that I was not patient enough, because I knew I was not going to live without my children. And I wanted a situation where, I'm sure that it will not be an issue for me later in life, especially as it relates to, how my children will look at the whole thing. And I think, well, that's mainly it. That was why I held on that long. But like you said, from day one, it was clear as anything. That
were you also maybe thinking of what your parents or society or even the church, because you got married in the church, and were they part of the contributory factor to why you stayed?
Funny enough, you see, I come from a family that's they're very, very liberal. They'll allow you to do what you know is reasonable. People don't try to control you in that sense of it. They'll advise you. They'll advise you, certainly. But so I don't come from a kind of family that you're scared to take certain decisions. And especially not when these decisions are for your own good.
Yeah.
My family wants me to be mentally okay, to be emotionally okay. So why would they not? So it had nothing to do with family, but then maybe society.
Okay.
Because even though I'm not worried about my family, I'm also worried about what society will think of me and my family. What society will think of me and my family. So that was another factor. And another thing, we were living in Abuja. I was worried about where I was going to live with my children. At that point, I wasn't sure. Was I going to remain in Abuja? Was I going to move back to Kaduna, where I was more, I was more familiar to me? Or was I just going to move to Jos?
Yeah.
I wasn't considering any other place aside these 3 places, but I couldn't even make up my mind. And if I remain in Abuja, can I afford the rent? Because to be very honest, I think that probably was even the main thing that was holding me. Is the rent.
So socio-economic factors.
Exactly, yes. These are economic factors. So maybe if I move to Jos, it will be cheaper for me. Fine, I don't need to remain with my mom. I have children already. I can rent my own space and all of that. But it will be like starting all over, because I've never really done business in Jos, So it's all of that. Yes.
Because it's important that we are sharing this story, because you remember the story of one singer, gospel singer, that
stayed in a marriage until she passed.
In a marriage, she was singing. All of Osinachi. And everybody knew her as someone who sang, and nobody knew she was going through
that
domestic
kind of
violence and until when the whole thing happened, and everybody is talking about it, and the same society, because if probably she had opened up,
would have judged her.
maybe
Yeah.
people will judge her and say, you are a gospel singer now, you cover up
What
for
are
your
you teaching other
husband
people?
Absolutely.
and all of that. I mean, these are realities that we don't really want to confront.
Yeah.
And sadly, that's why I hope that this story will really
Absolutely.
speak to someone out there. And it's why we are sharing it, by the way, on this
Absolutely.
platform so that people can learn.
While here at Happily Together, and with us wanting to propel good and godly marriages forward, it's not lost on me that I have been invited to be part of this team, even though I'm a divorcee. And what I found very beautiful and affirming about that is the fact that we know that people live different stories. And I feel like this is going to be one of the really important stories we get to do this year. Because now we're also talking about the fact that a marriage should be a healthy place.
Right.
And that if it's unhealthy, it's not a place to live in. Okay, my marriage crumbled at the 5-year mark. Yours went to the 9.5-year mark. So my question would be, do you think you left at the right time? Or if you were to go back to it, would you leave sooner?
So honestly, I would say I should have left sooner. I should have left a lot earlier. Sometimes I even wish I had even left on that wedding day. Oh yes, yes, because a lot of the ugly experiences, I wish I didn't experience those. So
because the signs were there.
They were there. So looking back, I wish I left earlier. The only reason is that I'm just so grateful to God for the 3 beautiful children that He's blessed my life with. I would not have gotten these children if I didn't stay long enough. So yes,
I mean,
that's the only yes.
That's a good sign.
And I think
But
that's
aside
something
from that,
every divorcee can relate with. Every divorcee who is a parent, everybody who is a single parent, one of the things everyone can relate with, or most can relate with, is that if the messy relationships hadn't happened, the children wouldn't be here.
Your children, I don't know how old were they at that time?
my oldest child was 8 years.
Okay.
The second was 5, and the youngest was 8 months old.
So how were you able to train these children? Because now you're no longer married. I guess now they are what age now?
My youngest child is even an adult now.
No,
He's 18.
He's 18 now.
Yes, my youngest
So how
child
were
is
you able
18.
to go?
I think we just saw his graduation, yes?
Yes,
He just graduated.
yes,
Congratulations.
yes. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So how I
Where
was
did you even leave to? That was where I wanted to start from. Yes.
Yeah, where did
That's
you
very
move to?
important.
Yeah.
So I never stopped talking about family support. My family has supported me, they supported me from day one. Right from before I got married, inside of the marriage, as I left till today. So when I left, I stayed with my cousin. She gave me her BQ. I spent some time there. And then eventually I found my place, a 1 room somewhere. So that's my bunk bed. Somehow I knew we were going to start from the scratch. Yes, because I'm not one to do too much. I know they do pass myself. So we started from a 1 room. And so that bunk bed was very useful. So when I went back to pack those stuff I talked about, that everything was bad, at least my bed frames were okay. The rain did not destroy those. So I took that, and then that's where we started from. While we were there in that place, I don't even know how to describe. It's not a good place. Yes. I grew up in my village and everything, but that place inside of Abuja is still not a decent place. Like decent like that. But I was ready to start.
It was in Kubwa too?
No, not in Kubwa. In Gwarimpa.
Okay.
Yes. So I stayed there, and while we were there, I got an elderly woman from the village because I knew I was going to be, going out a lot, you know, to start to establish my business, re-establish my business again. And I needed someone matured, someone responsible to help me with my children. So I got Mama from my village, and then we were there. And in that place, there were other, she now discovered some Birom people. And of course, we all became family like that. And these children were coming a lot into our space. They come to play with my son. The girls would go to school. And before I knew anything, my children had a disease that I wasn't sure what it was. And, you know, I was very worried. I visited my sister, and before I knew anything, my niece had caught this disease. Then I went.
Skin disease or infection?
Well, yes,
everything.
kind of an infection, which I first saw with those little kids.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure what it was. So I did not want to stop them from coming into our space, you know. And then by the time we went to the hospital, we discovered that it was scurvy.
What? COVID?
Scurvy.
Vitamin C deficiency.
So, but you know, it's highly infectious like that, yes. So these children had actually caught it. And we just visited my sister, and then my niece also just caught it like that. So it was with that I just said, I have to look for another place, you know. We needed to get somewhere else to move out to. And then luckily I got a job, like a contract I did here in Jos. I raised some money and got some support from family. And then I was able to move us into a 2-bedroom somewhere.
Okay.
Yes. And so that's how we started. And for the children's school, for context, while I may have complained about, you know, him not giving us upkeep and all of that, but he always paid fees.
Oh, wow.
He always paid the children's school fees, you know. So when we moved to this place in Gwarimpa, I was worried about these children going on the school bus every day from Gwarimpa to Kubwa and back, the express. And, you know, I didn't feel comfortable about that. I tried to discuss with him, but he will dismiss everything. If it's not where he wants them to school. And this went on for a while. And then I was also worried about the fact that in the part of Gwarimpa we lived in the hillside estate, which is works and housing. So the bus, that's the farthest part that the bus comes to. So it meant that they'll pick them first thing in the morning, and they'll be the last kids to be dropped. So they'll sometimes come at 5 a.m. So if they're picking my kids up at 5 a.m., they would have to wake up earlier than 5 a.m. And then they're dropping them last.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
so I looked at all of that and I just thought to myself, you know what? If he's not going to pay the fees, you have to look for where you can afford. So I just found one small school inside the estate and checked I could afford it. And that's how I just pulled
them out.
Yes. So there we would actually walk them to school, 7 o'clock, in 5 to 10 minutes, then school. And then we'll walk to go and bring them back. I didn't need to stress about who will go and get them and all of that. So that's how we started. And then my first went to secondary school. I think she only spent a year or two there. She actually went to school, secondary school, boarding house at age 9. I was young, inexperienced. I couldn't wait to send my first child to boarding school. And then, I mean, that's how she went into boarding school from primary 5. And later, her sister followed. The sister, she was in GS3, my business had picked up. I would travel to Dakar in Senegal, buy clothes. I started to re-establish buying machines, setting up, getting tailors. And then I saw that even going to Senegal was not worth my while, and it wasn't really something. I was just doing it for that time because I am a designer. I need to design my own, stuff for my brand, and not to go and be buying off, become a trader, more like. So eventually, I established. I had to run my.
This is fashion design.
Oh yes, my fashion business, and things were going smoothly. But like we know, I mean, business is never really. It won't always be smooth. Sometimes you're up there, other times we're just managing it like that. And she was in boarding house. My first child was in boarding house, and when she got to JS3. I had a lot I was dealing with because as an entrepreneur, I had a lot of stuff. So when you're looking at even what's coming in, you have to check after paying all your salaries and all of that, what's left. And we also needed to live. I also prioritize where I live. I know I started from a place where, but for me, we needed to be there before. So I wasn't going to pack everything to be paying school fees with. I mean, we're going to feed, we're going to pay rent, the rent for the shop, the rent for the house, and all of that. So I got to that point where it was time for my second child to go to school, secondary school, and I couldn't keep both of them in the same school because already their dad was already complaining. Sometimes he would drop the fees, sometimes he would.
Because I was going to ask
Yes.
if he was playing any role at
Yes,
all
yes,
at this
yes.
point.
Well, he was just for and at this point we had even gone to court. Yes. So even the
Court proceedings.
the court, yes, the court processes and all of that was also adding more issues to our personal relationship. You understand? Yes. So at this point, he was just doing things however he wanted to. He could drop something until another 3-4 months, like that. So I wanted what I could sustain, So I made my first child drop from boarding school, and then I put her in a day school, a public school. Her younger sister too joined JS1 in a public school, and that gave me a lot of peace. I had my small car I was managing because I was always very busy, overwhelmed. I had a driver who would help sometimes because I have to be in some places and my children need to be picked from school, and then all other things. So I kind of just worked out things, and I had Mama with me, the lady from the village, and I had another young man who would help in cleaning up the house. And it was quite a large space, the house so it conveniently housed that's my family and the business.
Okay.
I had a store which was just like an outlet there. Yes, so we'd send the things there. But I enjoy working from home. I really, really, when people talk about working from home, a lot of people discovered that after COVID. But that has been my life. So I'll be home, prepare my children for school, send them to school. They come back, they meet me there. I'm working, but I'm here, So I mean, it's just very, very convenient anyway. So the children, JS 1, 2, 3 for my second child, and then the oldest one had just graduated and gone off to university.
Okay.
Her sister eventually followed, and it's not been easy. I can tell you that.
Of course.
But you rebuild.
I mean, of course, why not?
It's not a lot of ups
This
and
is not
downs.
something you plan for. You didn't plan that one day you're going to be leaving the marriage.
Yes, I wouldn't say I planned for it,
No, you
but
didn't.
at some point.
Well,
but
I'm saying, I'm talking about I mean, when you started courting right from the start,
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
nobody
it was
ever thinks
a
about
honest
it.
conversation. I mean, relationship.
Yes, yes, yes,
And
yes,
then
yes.
you're looking
I thought
forward
it was
to
going to be my
spending.
forever and
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Yes, yes,
So it's
yes.
not.
So like I always say, if I knew that something was going to go wrong or that, this is how we're going to end up, I don't think I would have even gone into it.
I hear you.
What would you say, looking back at this 9 years plus, what would you say is the lessons that you have learned?
Okay.
Personally for you, as first of all, as that young woman then, and the woman that passed through these 9 years.
The 9 years taught me many things.
Yeah.
Many things. And I would probably just mention a few. First of all, I would like to say it taught me resilience. Because like I said earlier, I was alone in it.
Yeah.
So when people think life is very tough for me now, I don't think, I'm used to it. I did not start, it did not become tougher after I left the marriage. It had always been tough. So I was already used to that. But again, the 9 years of enduring all of those things, if I was to talk to my younger self, I would say no. You should not have to endure all of that. You should have just left earlier. Because what you will find is that you will endure this for 20 years, and when you leave in 20 years, you would actually wish you left in year one. You will wish you left in year one. So, and the longer, what I noticed with abuse is that for the victims of abuse, the longer you stay, the harder it becomes for you to leave. It becomes harder for you to leave. So you look for all sorts of reasons, and that's why I just say, if you see that it's not working, like they say, if somebody shows you who they are, believe them.
The first time.
Believe them. So you've seen this character. Look, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed. Like I would also say, there was a time during the marriage that I left for 6 months. I left for 6 months, stayed with my mom for 6 whole months. And for those 6 months, my life just stood still, sort of, because I had abandoned, I wasn't doing my business, I wasn't doing anything. I became completely dependent on my mom. But something within me just kept asking me, what about the children? Because, every time they say, oh, no, these children need their parents together. But now I'm older, I know that all a child needs is a healthy adult.
I swear.
Whether the person is even your parent or they're not. Because if your parents are unhealthy, the child does not even need both of them, really. So I now decided to go back again, was thinking, okay, maybe this thing is going to work. So I remember to mention this because I had said earlier that if somebody shows you who they are, believe them. So why was I thinking that me coming back this time around, after staying away for 6 months, that things were going to now get better? Maybe in very few cases you would find that kind of change, but hardly. Even if you stay for 2 years, come back. You're coming back to that same shit you left.
So I think my first question about rebuilding would be, I don't know about you, but I know that after I left my marriage, I had a period where I was really angry with myself. I felt like I had been responsible, like I felt like I was the one that had been responsible for my own, for everything I went through. So did you find that, and how were you able to find grace to forgive yourself? Because also in your story, there's already an element I see that disturbs me, which is that you lost the ability for self-care.
I wasn't even prioritizing my mental health, really.
Yeah.
It was all about my business.
Yeah,
So I thought that because my romance with my business, if my business was doing well, I felt that
You were fine.
me, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Because that's the boyfriend I have. So yes, if my business, so I put all my energy into that. And for me, that's just kind of fixed.
Everything.
Yes. I didn't really need to do any deep work on my, say, yes, doing an intentional work on my mental health. I didn't really have to do that because once I saw that my business was picking up, everything else was okay.
Yeah.
You know, and somehow, for some reasons, I don't know if I'll say it's strange, I've never really harbored any resentment like that, you know, against my ex. Honestly. So
Yeah.
I have never really harbored that. It's just that sometimes there are triggers. If I remember like this hospital issue, the bleeding, and a few other, it just triggers something. I get angry like that in the moment, and then it goes. But I have never really felt so angry with him or hated him or that kind of resentment. Never, ever. So somehow I think I didn't really need to do like an intentional work on my mental health. Yes.
Because we were already carrying it lightly. But I also find that very inspiring that because I mean building your business was not just about business, it was about securing your it was about security. Yes, it was about financial security, which
Especially
led
for
to
her
the
and the
security of the children,
children.
you know, and all of that. And I mean, you must be a very good businesswoman, getting your business back and running, right? So at this point, the children are fine, money is flowing better. How did you end up going from that to, I do know you run a foundation now. At what point in
I mean,
those years?
she can tell us a bit about it. I mean, for the foundation.
Absolutely.
So what you
Okay.
do, yeah.
Okay. So there's Garland Foundation, which is our NGO that's based here in Plateau State in High Plank, actually. And Garland Foundation, like you have just asked now, you know how you have been doing this stuff, but not formally.
Yeah.
You get. So, but because I was in a marriage far away from home and all of that, but by the time I was now all alone, like I was no longer in a marriage. So the decisions I take, I don't really need anyone else's permission to do certain things. And so I just came fully into what I have always done. And it's not something that it's not something that we did not even set out like starting an NGO kind of, but things just started rolling gradually, and we got to the point where we felt that, you know, this needed to be registered to make it yes, official. And we first started with an empowerment center because of what I do. I'm a fashion designer, and I have seen what fashion designing has done for me as a skill. And I felt I needed to use my story to also encourage women. It does not matter that you're in the village. If you have this skill and if you have the right support, you'll be able to benefit from the skill. So what we did, this is a story that has inspired a lot of people. And I realized that over the years, if you know any fashion designer, I mean, they would understand what I'm talking about. I found that I had gathered a lot of pieces of fabrics, you know, So many. And those pieces of fabrics, most of them, it's not like at that point, I didn't need them for anything, but I could not dispose of them. I just thought that maybe someday I'll use this, yes. And so the girl who lived with me when I was pregnant with us, when I was pregnant with my last child, she moved back home. She had gotten married, started her family. I came home to visit my mom one time. And then she also came all the way from Panshin to come and see my mom. And she didn't look good at all. And I was worried. So we discussed and she said, oh, things weren't good. Her husband, who was working before, was no longer working. He had an accident and he's been bedridden for a while. And you can understand how that can put a lot of strain on any family. And so I asked her what she was doing. She said nothing. Any skill you have learned, there was just nothing. And so I just there and then I asked if she wanted to learn how to sew. And she said yes. So I said, okay. Do you think you can move from Panshin to Haipan? And she said yes. I said, okay, I think you should go and discuss with your husband. If you discuss with him, if he's open to that, let me know. So she went back home. I also went back to Abuja. And then we spoke after that. And she said her husband was open to relocating. And so I got them a house in Haipang. And then they moved. And she started learning how to sew. And I was shocked because in less than 3 months, the story, my sister teaches, but she also does that as a side thing, yes. So she has her store and also teaches people, she has apprentices. So I now just I actually asked her to add my person to that, yes, to the program. She started, and within 3 months, it was amazing. Seeing what this lady had learned, what she was already sewing. And I said to my sister, come on, I think more women can benefit from this. So you can see how we started. It wasn't like it was a planned thing, And so I said, other women would want to also benefit from this. Because what we just did was, the moment she started sewing like that, I said, okay, then let's give her fabrics, shoes, sew dresses, turn them into dresses. And then I started to pay her. Yes, so I pay her stipends for every dress she produces. So she was able to start earning from that. And so that's how we now brought in other women into the program. So we actually brought 7 other women. So we had 8 of them now. And honestly, in 1.5 years, these women produced 1,600 dresses.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Because, yes, so these things were just happening. It's not like we actually even had any plan. But I knew I needed to engage them. So while they were, so we'll just train you for a few. Once we see that you're doing well, we start giving you fabrics to produce these dresses and we're paying. Then they produced 1,600 dresses. And then I asked myself the next question. So what are you going to do with these things that you've made now? And then a thought came. We decided that, okay, I'll take these things to Abuja. We're going to have charity sales and have people come around and buy these clothes. And then the proceeds will continue doing what we're doing. And so that was what happened. On the 10th and 11th of November 2017, at the basement of the NAV Conference Center in Abuja there, we held these charity sales. We invited different charity organizations that actually supports children, including the SOS, villages. I invited these ones in Jos, but they said they now sent the SOS village in Abuja, yes, to go instead. CBN Africa, Christian Broadcasting Network, they're now Operation Blessing. And then so they were like 17 or 18 different charities, and they came. So what we did was we sold these clothes. We sold every dress for 1,000 naira. Yes, then for 1,000 naira. And the different charities that attended, we all had their names. So what you do is you buy, but you can't take away. You have to donate to any of the charities, So we wanted a situation where we would, we're buying for the charities. So you buy and donate. Some people will buy 50 and share. Some would send, there's this charity society for the Catholic Church. They were also there. Just a lot of charities were there. So you buy and you donate. And in 2 days, we sold out.
Oh, wow.
By the second day, we sold out. The women were there. I moved these women from Haipang to Jos to Abuja, yes, so that they'll witness. At that point, even I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but I had done the bit I could do and just decided to trust God that too, But the support was really overwhelming. People came and bought, and so that's how Garland Foundation. That's how we even established ourselves. And from that event, Reverend Kalma of Operation Blessing, then CBN Africa, was so impressed with how everything was, what he witnessed there, that he asked me how they could support us. And so I told him that we were managing a small space, and that if we could actually expand, we'll be very grateful. But we didn't have, the funds to do that. And so he said, well, you can go and get a bigger space and let's know what it will cost to equip it. And so that was what happened. We got a bigger space, a 4-bedroom flat in Haipang, very big living room. And they furnished it, equipped it, furnished it. And that's how, we started. And 2 years down, we're there with these women, everyone coming. So far, we have actually graduated 120.
Wow.
From then, yes.
Wow.
Yes, from
120
120 women, yes, from our center. And seeing that a lot of them dropped out of school, even from primary school. Some of them did not even finish primary school. So we had to teach them, because some of them could not even accurately read the tape, that they're using and all of that. So we needed to support these women, but to also lessen their burdens, especially in the future. I thought that we also needed to support their families, their children. And we used to take support to, there's a public school in Haipang there, public primary school. And we just decided we needed to start a school. Because when you're indigent, the last thing you even think about is quality education. And so I thought we could actually give that kind of support, where these children will have the right education, and they don't have to end up like their mothers, like their parents, have ended up. They will see these opportunities, they'll be exposed to a lot more. And that's what gave birth to the Garland Foundation Leadership Academy, which we established in 2023. And it's so far so good. We're grateful to God, for.
So I know you passed through not a very good experience in marriage, but what is your take about marriage?
Honestly, I think marriage is beautiful. Marriage is good. So when we say marriage, I don't like when I have to start saying is a good marriage or a bad marriage. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. But unfortunately, the reality is different. Now, people are in what you call a marriage, but they're not really married. There's no marriage happening in the marriage. But I think marriage is a good thing. If you're lucky to find a good person, the person that you're compatible with, I would never condemn marriage, to be honest. I would never ever condemn marriage because I have friends, I have family that are in marriages that I know are good. You will never find a perfect marriage. But you know that, I mean, this is okay. Even it's a safe space for everybody, for the couple, for their children.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that, I don't know what to say. And I get more worried if there are children in a marriage that is not good.
Right.
Which was going to be my question.
Yeah.
So, 3 children later, 15 years or so on your after the marriage with your father.
18 years.
18. Oh, it's 18 now. 18 years. Where are they at, the children? I mean, with a mother's heart, if you compare them as they are now to what you think they would have been had you remained in that setting, you know, what would you say concerning the decision to?
I will keep hugging myself and hugging myself and hugging myself that I could not have taken a better decision.
Well,
Yes. My children are who they are today because I chose to live an abusive marriage. So they were able to grow up in a healthier space. So they're more matured emotionally than they would have been if I had remained there. So I will do this over and over and over and over again. Yes.
I just want to say that whether you're a young woman or a young man, if you're not ready to really honestly love someone's daughter as a young man, we don't give opinion here,
Absolutely.
but please don't marry her.
Aye, sir.
And if you are not ready to love this young man or that young man, don't marry him. Because there's no need to really get married and then,
And then
you
do
are allowing someone to go through all of these horrible experiences. There's not, love is, or marriage is meant to be enjoyed, not to be endured.
That makes me think about the fact that you're releasing, Nasir and his wife Fatima are releasing a guide for young people getting married. I think it's a 30-day assignment, yes?
Yeah,
You know,
30 days
and
assignment.
I mean, hearing what she went through, and you know, the stories of even those of us that went into marriages that didn't work, these are resources we wish we had. You know, this would have given us a balanced voice that we're not listening to family members and getting conflicting opinions. So somewhere down this, please stay on this page. We're going to put out links so that you can find those materials. If you're a young person and you're not married yet, let's know that we can help your ministry from the start. You know, you don't have to go through the mistakes that we found ourselves going through, you know, to be able to have a good life. Thank you so very much, Ma.
Thank
We're
you very much.
grateful. Thank you.
Thank you for making it